Hello. If you don't recognize me, I'm Jonathan.
And I'm Heidi.
Welcome to Global Talk.
Okay, today we are discussing 5 tips for traveling with kids. Wow.
Yeah, this is a good idea right here.
Yeah, and Jonathan is showing us his favorite. This is the dad's perspective here.
Yeah, typically I try to let Heidi sleep a good bit while we're on the planes, and I typically take care of the children so that she can rest from all the weary travel that she has.
I don't know if that's typical. So, basically we've been traveling with our kids for quite some time, right? So Elijah was about 5 months when he went, and then Jariah was about a month when he went to Haiti, and then we took...
You took Perpetua on a trip to India?
Yeah, she's about 5 months old then, 4 or 5 months old, and then when Nations came to us, you know,
she
so
was
she's 14 months old, and so, from Ethiopia, and then...
Addie was born in Jordan.
Yeah, so she traveled about...
6 weeks after she was born, I think.
Yeah, as soon as we could get her passport. Then... Who else? Evie was born here, but then about 2 months after she was born, we went back to Jordan and our home in Jordan. And so basically we've been traveling. We've traveled with 4 kids under the age of 7. We've traveled with 6 kids under the age of 12, I think. And we haven't traveled with all 8 of them internationally on an airplane.
But I think this can be helpful for people who are not only traveling internationally, but also if you're traveling domestically as well.
Yeah, these are our tips. So if you have some suggestions, again, we'd love to hear your suggestions down below, and it will help us out a lot on our next adventure. So tip number 1, I'm going to say the umbrella stroller.
Is that the one that has an umbrella up over top of it, or is that different?
No. You fold it up. It looks like a little umbrella. But something really lightweight and small that you can stick on the plane. Because sometimes they'll try to take your stroller from you and stick it under the plane. You do not want that because you will not see that thing until you hit, usually, your final destination. So it's good to have it if you could put it on the plane or have some kind of security that you're going to be able to get it back. I say this because even if your kids are up to 4 or 5 years old, whether it's the middle of the night and we're getting off on a long layover, so you do not want to be carrying a baby and a 4-year-old and your luggage and all their junk as well. It's a lot to carry. So umbrella stroller has always been helpful. And the only times that every time that I've not brought it, I've regretted it. So I encourage you, bring an umbrella stroller. What would be your first suggestion?
I think I would probably, traveling with lots of kids, I would probably suggest these earplugs. They're very useful for lots of different reasons, but actually you can use them in your own house sometimes. It would work quite well.
So it worked well. Testing, 1, 2, 3. Can you hear me?
Something? Did you say something?
Number 2, mine would always be bring a notebook and crayons. They love it. If you bring a coloring book, that kind of limits their imagination. So I say a notebook and crayons, and you can play games, you can play hangman and tic-tac-toe. And you can do it on the airplane. You can do it while you're waiting for the next plane or while you're waiting for the first plane.
They can draw pictures of things that they see from the airplane. It's a great way to
play win, lose, or draw. It's kind of fun.
Pictionary, yeah.
Those are good ones. What would be your second favorite thing to bring on the airplane?
Probably this toothbrush and toothpaste, because when you wake up in the morning,
very practical.
Yeah, you want this for all your kids because their breath is really bad when they wake up in the morning.
Number 3, small toys. A balloon is one of my favorites because, you know, it's really small. You can pack it and you keep it. The mom keeps it. And when that child has broken down for the 500th time and you are worn out, you bring that little magic balloon out and it's hours of fun. Now, on the airplane, this would not be appropriate. You know, your neighbor's not going to be thrilled about this. But when you're between flights, you're on layovers, you're waiting for the airplane, that's when the kids get all restless. And this is a great idea. Also, little Hot Wheel cars, a little Play-Doh, just one little Play-Doh thing will keep them entertained for hours on the airplane. You just want to make sure that they're old enough to where they don't eat it because that could make a mess. And like a small animal, like a little plastic animal that you can put together and you can play with. Those are all great ideas. They're really light, they're really fun, and they can bring them. What would be your third suggestion?
I think it would actually be number 4 of a suggestion we already have, and it's Gummy Melatonins.
Oh yeah, that leads us to number 4. How is that yours? That's yours. Gummy Melatonins. Number 4 is Gummy Melatonin. Now, I'm going to tell you from a mom who travels with kids, and you get to the destination. This is like your destination, ideal. Because what will happen is you'll get there, and your kids are messed up by about 7 or 8 hours, and you need to keep them awake during the awake hours of the country you're in. And then as soon as they go, it's like 9 o'clock at night, then you can go ahead and give them a little melatonin, and it'll help them sleep the whole next night, or the whole night through. Because a lot of times you'll find out that they're just messed up. And it takes about a week for kids to get back on schedule. Adults can push themselves, but kids can't. They just more naturally don't fight off those normal habits of sleep. So this breaks that really quickly, and I've used it almost every single time with my kids. It's been really, really helpful.
Yeah, they say for every time zone that you travel, it takes about a day to recover from that hour that was picked up or lost.
And Jonathan's really good about figuring out like the time zone, the time of when we should be awake. So even on the airplane, we already started. He'll say, well, you need to sleep between this hour and this hour to put us on schedule with the country that we're going to, whether it be the U.S., India, Jordan, or go back and forth in all the countries. So that leads us to the last one, number 5.
Number 5, it's books.
Books, yeah. Books are good. And I bring I Spy books. I bring books about plane rides, anything that will be fun and entertaining with pictures that will get them to look through it. Science books are great, just something kind of fun and entertaining for them to go through on their own. Now, a lot of people suggest bringing a backpack for a child to put all their goodies in. I go back and forth with this. I find out the backpack has been really kind of a burden because your little one cannot carry their backpack. At some point in time, they're tired of carrying their backpack, and then you're carrying your backpack, their backpack, them, the baby, everything, and it's crazy. So I'm like, no, don't do that. I like carrying, if they're old enough and mature enough to keep carrying it, then that's fine. I like keeping the good stuff in my purse, though, because then I can whip it out, when it's time, like get all the toys, fun toys or something like that, so like that they've been on that airplane for about, or in transition for about 20 hours and they're about to break down. Then you bring out surprise toy. You've got at least another 30 minutes, maybe an hour before they break down. Okay, so mom needs to have that. Also, and we don't have it listed on here, but snacks, of course. Always having a big selection of snacks on you that you can divvy out as they need it, because that keeps them happy as well.
Yeah, making sure you have water bottles.
Yeah, an empty water bottle. It's got to be empty when it goes on.
Get dehydrated very quickly.
Yeah, they need water on the planes. And that'll keep them happy as well. What would be your last, number 5th suggestion as a dad?
I think my last suggestion would be to make sure you get one of these. Sometimes they give it to you on the airplane, and sometimes they don't. You can bring one with you, but if you want to get good sleep while your 5 kids are running around the plane, you just pop one of these things on.
I can never sleep.
Stick your earplugs in, and then you can just rest and sleep.
This is the dad, I'm telling you. I never sleep on the planes.
You wake up in the morning, and your wife is just gleaming with joy, knowing that her husband got so much sleep, and she's just so happy for him. And,
to pass the baby to him, and that's what I'm happy for.
Change this diaper.
Yeah, mom is going to get like a half of a minute of shut-eye before we get to our destination.
I think people will enjoy my tips more than they'll enjoy your tips.
Thank you for listening.
Have a great day. Happy journey.